Hi, this is Rachelle, Journal Life's Journey, and I am back to work on our paper bag journal. So in previous videos, we did the cover. This is the cover. And we did the pages. These are the pages, and I've already started cutting the paper to mat the pages. This set of pages will go in the journal like this. And this is the paper collection that I'm using. I just happen to have already cut a bunch of tags that I was going to use for another project. So I think I'm going to use a lot of these for this project. These are some of the scraps that I've already cut. This kit is from Shabby Dabby Doodah. This is the Christmas kit from last year, so from 2020. There is a new Christmas kit for this year. I already have it, but I have not printed it out yet. But I wanted to go ahead and use this because I had already printed it and started cutting some things with it and just never was able to finish using it. So I have all of these papers here to work with. I have some that I printed double-sided, some single-sided. This is the ephemera or deco for the kit, and I'm pretty sure this is still available. So if you're interested, the shop is Shabby Dabby Doodah. And I think I edited by removing the background. If it had a background, I don't remember, but I pulled them into Cricut. And so yeah, that's another way you can use kits with deco like this. You can use them to cut stickers or make your own die cuts or whatever. You don't have to fussy cut everything out. So anywho, that is that kit, and that's what I'm going to be using because I already had it printed and ready to go. So I started my pages. I think this was what I wanted on this page. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't mess it up. I'm going to go ahead and start matting these pages. Let me make sure that I have everything the way that I want it. It looks like I do. And I might switch that background to here maybe. How's that gonna look? I think that's better there. And then this light pink here, since this is kind of intense. Yeah. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do them. I haven't decided what I'm gonna use on the cover yet. And I don't think I'm going to do any inking or anything like that. I'm just going to keep it simple. And I was considering using glue stick, but I think I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue for this. I'm probably going to time lapse this part because it's going to take me some time, and I will catch you on the other side. Remember, when you're gluing down your mats, try to stay clear of any folds. And I did cut these so that I would have a little space around so that I'll have a little white border. Use a paper towel to smooth this down. And while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and seal down the pocket. So I'm gonna run a bead of glue down this side of the flap and down this side. I'm trying to get it as close to the edge as possible, but I know I'm not always gonna be able to get that quite right. Press that down. That is all the pages matted and the pockets ready to go. So these are ready to be decorated, add embellishments, whatever the case may be. And also you still have this opening here where you can tip in a page or add a flap or a flip out, however you want to call it. You could use envelopes here. You could use any number of things, just as long as whatever you're gluing down fits into this slot. And then we also have a second slot here. Where is it? Here, that we can use for tags. Now I didn't test these tags. They may be too big for this. I don't know. Or they may be just right or a little small. They are a little small, but I think I'm going to use them anyway. I think the tags are a little big for the pockets. They will hang out of the top a little bit. But then if you do something on the pages here, like maybe do vellum pockets, it could work, or a side tuck. I don't think I want to do pockets that are going the same direction as the built-in pocket on the paper bag. I think I would rather do maybe a side tuck or a belly band, any number of things. But yeah, so I have all these tags to play with that are ready to go. And I do have some scraps that I can use. So the next step, again, would be preparing to add our pages to the cover. Make sure that all of everything is still burnished down. This has kind of been floating around on my desk. Hopefully it hasn't been ruined. But let's work on folding it. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna go through the images that I have and see if there's anything that I want for the cover. This is very, very busy. This one could work. So that's an option. Then I also have these journaling cards in addition to the tags. I wouldn't want to use that one. So I have these that I could use, and I'm thinking that might be the route to go. And that I may just cover with a solid color cardstock or a cardstock from one of my paper pads. I think I will do that. I do have a paper pad that has pink cardstock, and that may be the best option. Would use that as a base and then use something from Shabby Dabby Doodah as an overlay. I like the tree too. I think this tree was like one of my favorites from this kit. That is an option. So I'm not gonna hold you while I flip back and forth through papers. I'm going to figure out what I'm gonna do for the cover, and I'll be back. Okay, I am back with the paper that I think I'm gonna use. This is Sugar Blush. It's a Hot Buy paper pad. I think it was from last year. It's got a copyright 2018, but I'm pretty sure this was last year's pink Christmas paper pad, and there was one the year before too. I can't get to that one right now because I can't bend over or lift anything heavy, but I was able to get to this one. Now this is a case where filler papers like these come in handy because I don't want anything too busy, too bright. I want something subtle. There is a lot of filler paper in this paper pad, so I mean, even the stripes are nice. I don't even know if that's gonna come through, but yeah. So I'm thinking I could use this dark pink pattern for my spine wrap and something very light like this for the front cover. Let's see, I'm just using these as an example of what this would go on. I think this one will work. There's a couple other light colors in here. So I've got that one. And then this one, that one's too much. That doesn't work. Then I also have these cut aparts that I can use to fill the pockets. And then I have this page option. I think this is the best option here. I think. So I'm gonna go with this. It's just got kind of a same look as some of the backgrounds in the paper collection, the digital collection. So to determine my size, I have moved away from measuring with a ruler. This is how I measure now. And I'm gonna do it on the white side so that I can see, hopefully. Nope, better do it on the pink side. And I just wanna leave a small white border around the edge. So I'm gonna trim here. And now this edge doesn't matter as much because it's gonna be covered. Trim right there. And hopefully I can get to this same size out of that. We'll see. Okay. Just bring the paper trimmer over and align up my tick mark. So this will go here, this will go here. Then I need the piece to wrap around, which would be this. And it's got that on the edge, the darker pink shading on the edge. The reason that I'm wrapping it around, if you remember from the previous video, I did not line up where I connected the two pieces of cardstock that I used to wrap the cover. I did not line that up properly. It should have been in the center and it ended up being on the fold. And I need to do something to cover that. So, let's see. I think our spine is a little over 2 inches, about 2.5 inches. So I think this is the width I'm going to make. This here. Where'd my pencil go? Let's get another one. So I think I'll go to cut here. And then the height is going to be the same height as these. Hopefully I can get that right. I'm discombobulated. So we're going to do the same height. Let's trim and see what we got. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. And maybe I could have done this one underneath instead of over. I think over is going to be better. I'm gonna use the 3-in-1 for this just to make sure that it holds well. Also, if I have any seepage, I can get it up with my glue remover. Okay, and then this piece is gonna go here. Do I want the dark to be on the back? I think I do. I don't know. Kind of looks cool. I think I'll put it on the back because it's gonna depend on what I put on the front. Yeah, let's put the dark shadowing on the back. Let's line this up and line this up. Try to get it on there as straight as possible. This is a little longer than my other mat. Let's try and make sure it's pressed down well, even though it is a little longer. So I'm going to give this some time to dry before I fold it because I want that to adhere really well and not come up. So since I used a darker color on the outside, I may have to use something similar on the inside. Well, I don't have to, but I might want to. Okay. While that is drying, I could go ahead and put an eyelet in. Let's burnish that down. Hopefully the glue won't come seeping out now. If I want to put an eyelet in here so that I can hang a charm or tassel, now is the time. So let's go ahead and find the center here. And this is a 2-inch spine. So it's going to be 1 inch on either side. And then I just want to see how far from the edge I want to place it. I'm going to put it right about here. And let's see what colors I have, what color options I have. To have a white, I think. Yep, that's what I'm going to use. Let's get this one right here. So I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers eyelet setter. And I'm going to use, do I have this the right way up? Yes, because this is the back. This is the top. I'm going to go ahead and set the eyelet with the larger hole. Okay. And it should be already set to A1 because that's what I've been using lately, which is the one for the larger eyelet. And place the eyelet in here. And set it. Okay, so that's, the cover is ready. I did not put any closure. Now, the key to this is, will this interfere with that hole? And it probably will. But I could go ahead and put whatever in it before I put the inside in, or leave that little space unglued so that you can still stick something in there. That was why I use a different type of hardware on this version. I used the loop so that it wouldn't interfere there. So let's see, I'm gonna have to come up with something else. So keep that in mind if you do this. Okay, so I have these bulb pins. I got this on Amazon. If I can find it, again, I will link to it. But I like that it comes in all these different colors, and it actually has a white one in here. So let's see what we can do about this whole situation. I'm gonna go ahead and put the pin in. And I think it'll be okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the backing. Make sure that I have this the right way before I stick it down. So remember when I did the binding, I went ahead and put the double-sided tape on. So I'm just removing that. You can see where I wrote the measurements in. Again, checking to make sure that I'm putting this in the right way. I am going to hit this with some liquid glue to give me some wiggle room, because I think I'm going to need it. Okay. So let's see. Let's take this one off too. I really didn't mean to do that way. Okay, so I'm just gonna line this up. Let's start with one side. And then the other side. flatten it out. Slide it over. Let's get this side straight. Get this side straight. And I think we got it in there good and straight. Let's burnish this down. Come through here and burnish that down. Not pressing too hard right here because our pen is there. Let's keep our pen out of the way. Burnish that down. And I felt this lift up a little bit, so I'm gonna add a little glue here. So we got our pen that's here, somewhat out of the way, and then our pages are down. So I can either add glue to these flaps, or I can add tape. I still haven't folded the cover since we put the mat on. So let's see what happens if we carefully fold that. Start training that paper. Just do the other side. Hopefully the paper won't come up, because that is what happens sometimes. Let's go fold this again. So here is what we have so far. Okay, it's a little stiff, and it's going to be even more stiff when I add this piece into the mix. So let's go ahead and put some tape on here. I should have done this before. I got ahead of myself, which I knew this was going to be a bit of a challenge because I just whipped through that first one, and this one is not as easy. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry a little more, but I've already started training that paper to be ready to fold. With the back side of my bone folder. The ruler could work, but I'm afraid that it doesn't really get down in that crevice like the bone folder does. So while that is drying, can determine which papers I want to use to cover. Now I could use, no, I don't want to use regular paper. I need to use a cardstock. So that stripe I liked. Let's see how that might look. So subtle. Anything can go over that, and it's just thick enough to do a job. I think we might have to use that. Okay. So how far over do I want it to come? I think right about there is good. So this is my fold. You want the paper to go like right about there. So trim here and trim here. This one here. Let's see if this is the same in the front. It should be. Yeah, so I'm just gonna cut it the same. And this one is the front. I made a slight bit bigger. So we're gonna put this one down in the front. I think I'm just leaning more towards the 3-in-1 glue. It might have something to do with my climate here. I don't know, but for this, it seems like it's working much better than the Barely Arts glue at the moment. And for my cover, I don't want to take any chances. So line that up. That set for a second before I move it around. Hit the other side. That is the other side. And I think that is it for now for the cover. I'm gonna let everything dry and then I will come back for the next part, which is basically decorating. So I hope you enjoyed this so far and found it helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and I'll holla at y'all next time. Bye.